What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and in today's video I got a really great one for you. We're going to be taking on a brand new investor into the stock market, somebody who hasn't put any money in yet. We're going to answer all their questions that they have about investing. We're also going to walk them through signing up for a brokerage for the very first time. They're going to sign up for Robinhood Investing. So if you are brand new to the stock market, a lot of those questions you have may be answered in this video, and if not, leave them in the comment section down below. I'll be sure to get back to you. Now also, just so you guys are aware, maybe you've already been using Robinhood for a while and you feel like this video isn't tailored to you. Well, I guarantee that there are going to be some sections in here with some hidden features that you may not even know existed within Robinhood. So whether or not you're experienced, it doesn't really matter. This is a really solid video. There's going to be some timestamps in the description. You can jump around, go to those sections that are most relevant for you. And also, real quick, just want to thank today's video sponsor, Skillshare, but more on that coming up in the video. Without further ado, let's introduce the guest. Okay, so this is my sister Dana. For those of you who don't know, I don't think I've discussed that I've had a sister on this channel before, so this is your first introduction. Why don't you say hello?
Hi, I'm Dana.
Nice. So I just had a couple quick questions for Dana beforehand. It'll get me to understand what kind of investor you are, your experience level, and know how to guide you into certain different investments. Sound good?
Sounds great.
Okay. So the first question I have for you is, have you ever invested before?
I have not.
Never?
Not once. No.
Have you had any interaction with the stock market? Do you know about it at all?
We played a game in econ, so I just know you buy low, sell high.
How'd you do in that game?
I didn't really keep up to date with it. I don't know.
Okay. So, yeah, all pretty typical. Like, a lot of people who watch this channel in particular don't really have all that much knowledge. Like, that's what they're coming here for. Mm-hmm. And I'm just curious, like, what's your overall goal with investing?
I just want to get financial freedom as young as possible, you know, generate money.
Sounds like a mini me in the making. And then additionally, like, what is your risk tolerance? Like, are you willing to basically put up a lot of money and invest in sort of riskier companies knowing that you could make a lot more money, or you want to be playing it safe and consistently grow your portfolio?
I feel like in the beginning, I'm going to want to play it safe, but as we go on and I learn more about the stock market, I'll definitely want to take some risks.
Right. Yeah, no, all good stuff. And that's exactly like my mindset behind it is when you first start investing, you really want to get the fundamentals and the basics down before you start looking off into like individual stocks, trying to identify specific companies that you want to invest in. I really think just that baseline knowledge and understanding that like the stock market itself is really intimidating up front, but it doesn't need to be, because you can consistently grow your portfolio without really risking much money. And it's not a guarantee, but it's very close to a guarantee that you will make money over the long run. So
cool.
So I think that the next step is to kind of get you started. We're going to pop open the Robinhood Investing app on your phone, and we'll walk through the entire sign up process. I'll be alongside of you. I'll talk you through it. And then everybody watching along, if they're signing up too, they'll just get a better idea. All right?
Cool.
So what I'm going to have you do now is pop open my YouTube channel. In the description of any one of my videos, you can just go ahead and click on any one of them. Let it load for a second, X out the ad, or watch the ad. It's actually going to give me some a little bit of money here. But anyways, just click the drop down to get the description. And then you're going to be able to see where it says get a free stock when you sign up for Robinhood. Click on that link. What it's going to do is it's going to get you a free stock, as well as it is going to be an affiliate link for me, right? So I'm going to get compensated as well. It's a win-win situation. And you can get, it says the types of stocks you can get. You see Apple's one of them there. Johnson & Johnson, $173. JPM, $151. Now, typically it's on the lower end. It's like usually greater than $5, but between $5 and like $250. So go ahead, click on claim your free stock now. What this is going to do is basically ask you a bunch of personal questions to get your information down so you can actually open your account at Robinhood. Now, do you know what Robinhood actually is considered? Like, what account are you opening right now? Do you have any idea?
I honestly have no idea.
Okay, so this is what a brokerage is. That's where you can kind of buy and sell and trade securities or stocks and make investments. Robinhood is a brokerage. There are tons of different brokerages out there. You don't have to use Robinhood Investing. What I've found is that Robinhood Investing for beginners, it is by far the easiest platform to get used to be able to navigate around, and that's why I definitely recommend it. So I just fill this out. You can do it right here on screen, and I'll blur out all of this stuff so everybody doesn't really need all your information.
Good.
Yeah, but yeah, basically just ask for your name, your email address. Now you're gonna generate that password in there as well. You can do anything for a password.
I know, I need to think of something that's different.
Someone's not going to be able to guess.
I know. Can I write it down?
So now, just more information. It's asking for your phone number, your residential address. This is all mainly for basically stock like reporting purposes and accounting. The government needs to know how much you're investing. They're going to want to know your profits, and you actually have to pay taxes on investments.
Really?
So that's why you're recording all this information. Yeah, you can just fill it out as I'm talking. I'm just
Okay.
kind of, yeah.
I wasn't sure.
But also, one of the questions that I get asked all the time whenever anybody's opening up a brokerage, no matter what account it is do you have to put your social security number? And the answer is yes. And that's how they link it back to you for taxes. Now, I have several different brokerage accounts. All of them have all of my personal information. They have my bank accounts linked to them. That's how I get money into it. That's just how it works. It's the nature of the beast. If you're untrusting of the company, don't go for them. Go for somebody that is more reputable, I guess. There's really great options out there. So yeah, go ahead, click continue. Probably is going to ask, yep, there's the social security number, your date of birth, all that stuff I just kind of covered. Okay, so then you click continue. It's going to ask you a little bit about your experience. This is basically going to give you like mini tutorials within the application. I would just say not much for this.
Yeah.
So go ahead, click not much, click on continue. You're employed, you can click on employed. Actually, do student, you're about to go to college.
That is true.
So go ahead, click continue there. Are you or a family, so no, we're not. Go ahead, click continue there. Do you or a family member work for another brokerages? No, we do not. We don't have anybody in our family that does that. And agree and accept here. This is the tax information, basically. Like most of the people, like you'll want to read through that stuff if you want, but agree and accept.
Don't you have to fill that stuff out when you get a job too? Like.
Yeah, like W-2s is what it's
that's
for,
what
but
it's
this
called,
is like a W-9. It's a little bit different.
Okay.
And then this is where you submit your application here. Just is giving you more of the disclaimer information about Robinhood. Again, like it's advised to read through it. So, but anyways, just click on review and go ahead and submit your application. Yep. And then after your application submits, I've seen it takes some time for people to be approved, but when I did this with Emma, she was pretty much all set to go. So you're already signed up, you're already good, your account is all set there. Click on I'll fund my account later. Basically, it's going to ask you to link your bank account if you did it. Okay. Now you have access to Robinhood. So what I recommend at this point, like we should get out of this web portion, just go ahead and download it from the App Store, the Google Play Store, whatever you guys have, and we'll go from there. Okay, so now that the app is open, let's go ahead. I'm going to give you a little bit of an overview of the entire application. So why don't you jump in? Let's turn on notifications. You're going to want to know what's going on with your stocks, if they're going up, if they're going down. And so now it's actually asking you to verify your identity. So I've seen this happen a few times. Basically, what you're going to need to do is take a picture of your social security card. So I hope that you know where that is. I'm just kidding. Off camera, she had to run home and go get her social security card. So, so that's what we're going to do real quick. Hopefully it'll approve quickly, and we'll be able to go from there. All right, so as you can see, your application is now in review. I feel like the most it takes is usually 48 hours, and I've had people that have reached back out to Robinhood to try and speed along the process. I'm not really sure how much it actually does, but you should be accepted, if not tonight, like by tomorrow. And it doesn't really matter because the stock market right now is actually closed. Did you know that the stock market closed?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So what do you think the hours are for the stock market?
Is it like 9 to 5 or something?
Close, 9:30 to 4 p.m. And then there's like some after hours and early morning stuff going on. But trading then is more volatile, meaning like the prices kind of rapidly will go up, rapidly or go down. It's not very like stable. So it's tough to trade during that time. So
wait, it's tough to trade during the
after hours or pre-market is what they call it. Yeah, it's tough to, like Robinhood will let you make trades sometimes during that. Typically, like I just trade during the market hours.
Okay.
And so this is the main screen here. If you scroll down, you'll see this is what it's going to look like normally for you on your home screen. And I'll just walk you through how to use the application, give you some of the information. We'll talk about stocks, and I'll actually talk about what I think is the wisest investment for somebody in your shoes with like what you have going on. So I know that you're going to college, you're going to have some student loans that you need to pay off. Like, investing is really, really great for you to get into, especially being 18 years old, where you have the longest time to actually grow your portfolio. So like, you can become a millionaire a lot quicker, a lot earlier than a lot of other people if you just focus on your investing starting from here on out. So if you scroll up, these are where your notifications are. This is where you're going to actually get that free stock once your application has been approved. And it literally works like a scratch ticket kind of. You're going to have 3 stocks up the front. You click on one, you scratch one off, and it's going to give you a free stock. It's actually really cool, really rewarding. And then just so you know, if you went ahead and you shared your referral code with other people, they're going to get the same, like they're going to get a free stock. It might be different than yours. And then you will also get a free stock. So you can keep sharing your code with other people. And I don't know, it's just a cool way to.
So, question.
Yes.
By free stock, like if I didn't share stuff, I'd have to like buy each one of these?
Yeah. So yeah, literally like what's cool is it's 100% free. It's free money. So even if like you wanted to close your account, you could still close it, take out that money, and it's just 100% free. That's why I love it. And there's several different apps that I have that are similar, like other brokerages, in the description as well. So if you're interested, you could look at those later on. My personal favorite, and something I'll get you signed up for later on, is what's known as a Roth IRA. That is all untaxed. So when you put money in, it's all pre-taxed rather. So you get paid from your W-2, you pay taxes on that. You're going to put it into a Roth IRA, and then when you retire, you have to retire at 59 and a half or older. You can take all of that money out completely tax-free. You're not going to pay any taxes on it.
But that's one that I wouldn't be taking money out over the course of like my lifetime, right? Like
yeah,
I would
well,
just be investing.
We'll get more into it, but basically with a Roth IRA, you can't take out more than what you contribute. Let's say you put $6,000 in 1 year, which is the maximum contribution you can make in a year. You could withdraw that $6,000 at any time, but if that $6,000 has then made money, you wouldn't be able to withdraw the additional without paying a penalty, which is like a tax. Okay. But that's kind of like another subject. That's a really, really great way for you to be investing. And that's probably what I'll lean you towards. But Robinhood is what I built this channel around. It's what I personally love. And, you know, it definitely gets people interested in the stock market. So we'll just continue with this here.
Cool.
So this is your watch list. This is also on the home screen. You can add different stocks to the watch list if you wanted. It just gives you some pre-populated ones. So if you look down these, like you have Snapchat, I believe is the first one, Apple, Twitter, Tesla, Netflix, and so on if you continue scrolling. Now, do any of those stick out to you? Like they just one that you want to learn more about, or ones that you want to click into and figure out the information on? Let's go into like Tesla.
Tesla, yeah.
So that one's a little bit of a risky stock right now.
Why?
They're actually like losing money. And, you know, I personally am a firm believer in Tesla. I think that there's a lot of room to grow for them. I hold Tesla in my own portfolio, but it's one that's like, you know, a little bit risky.
So something I would do later on when I have more.
When you're comfortable,
stability.
if you look at Tesla and you start reading into them and like looking at their financials and you're like, oh, this looks like a good company, something I want to be invested in, then that's when you can kind of take that step.
Do you think now is a good time because Tesla's doing a thing where they're trying to get to space?
I think that there's a huge opportunity, but that's also another branch. It's not necessarily Tesla. That's like SpaceX, which is a whole separate thing.
Which, do you have anything invested in SpaceX?
I don't know if it's open to the public right now, to be honest.
Okay.
So that's the only thing there. But this is like really cool. So whenever you search for a stock, you're going to be given this screen right here. In the top right where that check mark is, that is why it's on your watch list. So if you click on the top right, it's going to uncheck it. And if you were to like click that there, now it's not going to be in any of your watch list. But if you want it to be in your watch list, you go ahead and click that there.
Okay.
You could also create a new watch list if you wanted to, but we don't really need to do that right now. So go ahead. What I would say here is cool is the chart, right? So you have the 1 day. If you click on, you can go through, you can look at how it's performed over the past week. So over the past week, it's up 10%. Over the past month, it's up 4.2%. And you can drag along for different dates. So if you click and drag, you can see where it was performing at certain days of the week or the month. And then you can go ahead, click on 3 months there. And it's just more information. So they're up 4.29%. Go to 1 year. 1 year. So if you invested a year ago, you would be making 130%, 137% of what you invested. So let's say you put in $100, you would have $237 if you just left it in this stock. It's kind of interesting. If you click on 5 years, this is what's crazy. 1,400%. Like, that's a
That's like
unbelievable.
skyrocket,
Yeah, that's like really good. If you can find stocks that are going to get you returns like that, like you're golden. And so on this, it also has what these are candlesticks. Now those are, it's really tough to read on Robinhood, these candlesticks. So I just kind of dismiss it. I usually don't even put them on.
What are candlesticks though normally?
Basically, it shows you a couple different things. There's a lot of information. Like it'll tell you what the highest price it was bought at a certain time, the lowest price, and it'll tell you where it's trading in between, if it's trending up, if it's trending down. People use candlesticks to read and try and predict what's going on with the actual stock.
Okay.
So there's a lot that goes with it. So I'd say let's just scroll down here, just go over some of the stats that are here. So you can see this is a screen where it's giving you a ton of information. You've got the open, which is what the price opened at the day at. So it was $710 this morning.
So if I were to invest, I'd have to put in $710?
No, so Robinhood, you can buy fractional shares and you can buy as little as, I believe, $1. So you could buy $1 worth of Tesla, and then whatever happens to the actual stock. So if it went up 3%, that $1 goes up 3%.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, so you got your open there. That's what it opened with today, $710. The highest it got to today was $724. So you would have made, $14 if you invested and bought one full share if you sold it at the highest. But I with all my stocks, like I haven't sold a stock in the past, year and a half, 2 years. I rarely ever sell stocks. The only ones I recently sold was AT&T because the whole company started shifting and they were changing how they were operating and stuff, and that's the only one that I've sold.
So when you sell stocks, you get the money from it?
You do, and then you can either wait and withdraw it from your account, or you can invest it into other stocks.
So if I were to withdraw a certain amount of money from a stock, would the rest of the money that I didn't withdraw still be in the stock?
Yes. Yep, it would stay within there.
Okay, so in most circumstances, you don't want to sell. You'd rather like take a bit out.
Yeah, like the reason, so you'll have to pay if your stock goes up, you invest in a stock, the price goes up and you sell, you have to pay capital gains tax on that. So the less you can sell, the more you can hold on and just like let it rise, the better you're going to be. And it's a lot easier to buy and hold and not try and time the market than it is to buy, wait, sell high. Like it's very hard to do that. So all the investments that I make are for like, 10, 20, 30 years in the future. And I'm not going to do anything to them in between unless the company like fundamentally changes or they're not looking pretty solid.
So like in 30 years, would you withdraw all of it or withdraw like?
That depends. So there's a couple different things. I want to live off what's known as dividend income, and dividends are a whole nother realm of investing. They're investing in companies that actually pay you just for holding the stocks. So a company like Apple actually pays a small dividend, and what happens is they pay you back a portion of their profits. It's to incentivize you. It's a very, very small amount. Like Apple stock is like a few $100s and you're going to get a very some change back. So it takes a lot of money to invest to be able to live off of dividend income. But my goal is to have my dividend income cover all of my expenses. And that way, I'm living financially free. I don't have to worry about where I'm getting money from.
Yeah.
Okay. So next is the low price. You can see it's $708.93. Then you got the 52-week high. So that's the most the stock has traded with in the last 52 weeks. So it went up to $900. And the lowest it's been is $273. So that $900 to $270 gap is so big and volatile. That's why it's kind of tough to invest in a stock like this. You got the trading volume. That's how many times it was traded throughout the day. And that was 16.99 million times. So huge, massive amounts of trades going on here. The average volume is $24.86 million. And a lot of times if you see that spike, there's something going on with the stock. Either people are selling off really rapidly or a lot of people are buying it. It's just an indication of something's happening. The market cap is $703.82 billion, which is just a massive, massive amount of money. Then you have your price to earnings ratio or the PE ratio there below it. A lot of people use that to help indicate whether or not they're going to buy into it. And then below that, where there's the dash, is the dividend yield. Now, as I mentioned, I love dividend investing. Those are companies that pay you. They incentivize investors by paying them portions of the profits. A lot of different companies do this. That's what I want to retire off of. I want my dividend income to be able to cover my expenses, and that way I can live financially free. So do you have any questions on any of those stats there?
Kind of, yeah. I'm a little bit confused because lot of information is being thrown at me. When you say like 710.67, what exactly is that number? Is that like a price tag on it?
Yeah,
or?
so that's literally so that's $710.67. And again, that's where it opened at today. So when the market opened at 9:30 a.m., it was $710.67. Went all the way up to, at the highest today, $724.90.
So does that mean if I were to buy this, if I were to like go into Tesla at the beginning, I'd have to invest $710?
Well, again, you can buy fractional shares, so you can invest as little as, $5 into Tesla, right?
Okay.
If you wanted to. And then depending on how Tesla does and depending on how much money you invested, you're going to get the same return that Tesla does.
So this $710 is one full share.
Yeah, so if you were to buy a full share of the stock at the time that the stock market opened, it would be $710. But you have to know that throughout the day, the stock prices is constantly changing.
Fluctuating and
So
stuff.
every single second it's updating within the app, you're going to see the prices go up, go down. Like, it's actually really exciting when you have money invested in it and you see what's going on real time.
And last question, this high and low, those aren't averages? Are those like strict numbers of like
Yep.
the lowest price?
Exactly. It's
Okay.
like a price ceiling and a price floor of where it's been.
Got it. Okay.
Okay. So the next section, if you scroll down, is the news. A lot of times if there's something big that happens with a stock, it really reflects in the stock price. So if you notice that a stock price goes down really fast or jumps up really fast, this is typically the section that I'm going to go and look at. And
Okay.
you're going to figure out why they might be doing that,
So
right?
what's this GM minus?
So that's saying that Tesla is up and General Motors is down right now.
Is that a competition?
Yeah, they're competitors, and it'd be interesting. Like, I bet if you clicked into that article, it would take you to an article that talks about both of them and why they're actually acting in
yeah.
that way. So it's just cool just to get more information around that.
Yeah.
Then that next section you're scrolling to is the analyst rating. I don't take too much into account with these, but it's just a nice, like, sort of backing. Like, if a lot of analysts are saying buy and you want to buy into the stock, it just is good. Just a good feeling, right? So 43% are saying buy, 38% are saying hold, and 20% are saying sell. These are like people who do the stock market for a living. There's 40 analysts there that are making that rating. Okay?
So is this number, like the buy and the hold, say I were to go along with the 43% and buy, would I also hold it then?
Well, like buying and holding, I guess you can think of together. Like, hold is saying that it's valued where it should be right now. Hold on to it. Sell is saying that it's going to start losing money. You want to get out of it.
Oh, okay.
And then buy, they're saying like, oh, this is a good price to get in.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. So then you got the bulls, what the bulls say and what the bears say. The bulls are people that think the stock is good, it's going to do well. And if you click on show more, it's going to bring up this next section that tells you more about what these people that are bullish about the stock market are saying about this particular investment. So click dismiss. Then you got the bears section. These are people that think that the stock is going to do poorly. And then again, you're going to have all that information on why they think it might do bad. Just helps sort of back some of your positions. If you are for Tesla, you think they're going to do well, you'll probably hone in on that bull section and try and dismiss that bear section, but it's just something to keep in mind. Okay. Next section is really important. This is the earnings. Now, if you don't know anything about the earnings, it's when the companies actually report on how they're doing financially and whether or not they're beating expectations or meeting expectations or actually doing worse. So the grayed out is the expected earnings per share. That's how the company's expected to do. And then the lighter green, the lime green, is showing what the actual earnings were. So you can see, like, for Q2 2020, they absolutely crushed it. They made it way past their earnings. Their expected earnings per share looks like negative 0.26 right there, and they got up to 2.41. So they did really well. And then they've consistently beat earnings except for Q4 of 2020. COVID related stuff, just, it was tough for a lot of companies during that time. Then you got your related list. You can see this is part of the 100 most popular. If you click into that right there, what this shows you are the 100 most popular investments that people make just within the Robinhood Investing application. They're not the most popular overall. It's literally just what people are buying and selling within Robinhood. So it's a lot of companies that you may already know: Apple, Tesla, AMC, Sundial, Ford. There's a lot here.
Yeah, so I'm assuming this is updated pretty often because it said 1 hour ago.
Yep, that's right. Yeah, so pretty much it just is like, again, it's kind of like trends. So you're going to get a lot of those more popular stocks in here.
Okay.
Yep. So if you go back, it shows a couple different lists. This is also in automotive, obviously, because Tesla has like its automotive industry.
Yeah.
And then California is just another one here on the list.
Okay. Does that have anything to do with like, are there more people in California you think buying this stock?
No. So California here is actually because their headquarters is in California.
Oh, okay.
So I think they're just part of that category.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And then you have this people who also own these other stocks. If they own Tesla, it's likely that they're looking at, Apple, Amazon, Neo. You can scroll over again, get more Microsoft, Netflix. And again, you probably are familiar with like most of those, if not all of them. And then you got the About section here. If you click on Show More, it gives you more information about Tesla themselves, who they are as a company, what they're trying to do, some of their products, things of that nature.
Yeah.
So going down, you got the CEO, Elon Musk. There it is, the headquarters there. So that answers your question. Founded in 2003 with 70,000 employees. So that's pretty much Tesla for you here. One thing that I will mention, I actually can't show you, which really sucks, is that so here at the very top, obviously you got Tesla's price, $710. Now, normally in the bottom right, it will say trade, and that's where you're gonna go to buy your stocks. I'll show you on my phone before the end of the video how to do that, just so you can see when you get yours
Is that once I'm approved? Yeah.
All right, so you might be wondering, how should I be investing? I'm a little confused about the stock market still. Well, I want to talk about today's video sponsor right here. So as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, Skillshare is a sponsor of the video. If you don't know anything about Skillshare, Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for creators. It allows you to explore new skills, deepen existing passions, and get lost in the creativity. I think that as a brand new investor, it offers many different courses that are really going to enhance your knowledge around the stock market and present necessary information to kickstart your investing career. One of my all-time favorite courses for brand new investors is the course that's titled How to Not Suck at Investing.
Keeping track of too many companies is bothersome, which is why Wall Street invented indexes.
This is a two-part course which has been completed by tens of thousands of investors that covers everything you need to know about the stock market. From explaining what the market is all the way to specific examples and definitions, this is a course that I truly believe all new investors should take. Now, one of the coolest things about Skillshare is that it's not solely based around investing. There are courses to fit your needs no matter what you're interested in. Now, for me personally, other courses that I'm interested in are things like design or maybe editing courses that are really going to help take my YouTube channel to the next level and really thoroughly enhance my business. Now, I've personally seen so many other content creators out there speaking to the value that Skillshare adds, and I myself can't speak highly enough of them. Now, keep in mind, this platform is specifically designed for learning. That means there's no other advertisements. We all know how annoying those can get. And they're always launching new premium classes, so that way you can stay focused and follow wherever your creativity takes you. And the best part is, the kicker to this whole situation is that Skillshare is offering the first 1,000 people to use the referral link in the description of this video. They're giving them a free trial of Skillshare for 1 month. And at that rate, I mean, you can go check it out, see if it's for you, but I know that I have so much value. I've found so much value within Skillshare, and you likely will too. So no matter what you're interested in, I'd highly recommend checking it out. And let's get back to the video.
I do have a question. What is this after hours thing? Is that because can it fluctuate when it's not on hours?
So after hours, again, it's pretty volatile. After hours, this one just stayed stable here. It's 0.00. But go back. Let's look at another stock real quick. Let's go into one like Apple there, for example. If you look at Apple, you can see it went up 0.04% after hours. Not a ton. But
so what exactly does that mean is going up? Like the price?
Yep, the price. And it'll reflect. It'll show where it goes to.
Yeah.
And again, you got all the same information here. One thing to note is that you remember the price of Tesla?
Yeah. The market cap price?
Well, no, just the price in general. Yeah, like how much
like
it costs.
710 or something.
Yeah, and so Apple's 147. And so you might be thinking like, wow, Tesla's probably a better stock. They're worth more money. So I should probably invest in them. Well, that's not really the case. So if you look at down here, again, you kind of pointed out the market cap. Tesla was, in the hundreds of billions.
Yeah.
But
this is what, trillions?
Yes, this is $2.43 trillion. So in my eyes, and a lot of
money.
Like ridiculous amount. So I think Apple is more safe. It's a more reputable company to be investing in.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I look for. Again, they have a dividend yield. You can see it's 0.57%. So they will pay a fraction of their profits to shareholders.
Yeah, and Tesla didn't have that, did it?
Correct. Tesla did not.
But this has been around, this has been around for longer. So is that why you think it's like relatively stable?
Yeah, it could be. Like, it's also a completely different stock, right? Like Tesla's automotive, they're trying to be innovators right now. I think that Tesla is like similar to where Apple was when Apple was trying to revolutionize like smartphones and things like that. Okay. Tesla's trying to revolutionize automobiles, transportation, you know, things of that nature.
Yeah.
So, are there any other questions you have on this screen here?
I don't think so. I think I'm all set for that.
Okay.
A lot of people said buy on this.
So real quick, what I want to do is I actually want to put my phone in there in 2 seconds, and I want to show you how you would go about buying a share.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to take this from you. All right. And so within here, again, you were in different stocks. I'll just show you my home screen. So I have $25,000 invested right here. And then within here,
is that just like 2,500 like over the course of like multiple investments, or is that like in one?
So this $25,000 is over multiple investments. I'll show you them in a second. But again, this is like the chart. So over the past week, I've literally made $600 just by keeping my money in the stock market. Over the past month, I've made $1,200. Over the past 3 months, I've made $1,200, so a little bit stable there. But over the past year, I've made $4,400, literally just like leaving my money there.
So leaving the money like in the stocks is probably the best bet, especially at my age, you'd say?
Oh, 100%. The earlier you get started, the younger you are, the more time in the market is the most important thing about investing, because it's going to like continue growing, compounding, and you're going to make a lot more money.
And like the most expensive stocks aren't necessarily the best.
Right. There's a lot of information you need to take into account.
Yeah.
So again, if you went to buy, I'll go into Tesla where I have 2 shares right here. If you click on trade, I said it would be in the bottom right. If you click trade, there's a couple different options. You can trade options, which I'm just going to dismiss that. Like if you're a beginner, you don't need to know about options. You can buy and sell. So if you click buy, there's a couple different things you can do. You can buy in dollars. So you can do specific, like if you wanted to buy $52.78 worth, you can just plug that in and buy it through that.
And that would automatically take it from my bank account?
It would take it from the money that you put into Robinhood.
Okay.
So you would have to first deposit money from your bank account into Robinhood.
Got it.
Okay. And then if you wanted to buy in shares, you could also do that. Let's say you wanted like 3 shares, you could do that exactly.
Oh yeah, that would be
a lot of money. Yeah. Two grand to buy 3 shares of that. What I do is I do a limit order. And this basically is where you set the price that you're willing to pay for this stock. So let's say it's trading at $710.92, but you wanted to buy it for $710.50, and you didn't want to pay more than that. You could do that, set it up, so you'll only buy it when it drops to that price. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
And
that's cool.
Even when I buy stocks in general, because of the way the stock market works, like prices can change really quick. I always do limit prices. I'll come in here and do 710.92, and that's exactly how I would buy it. I would do 1, I'd click continue. I'd do market hours here, click continue. Good until close, I'd click continue. And then I would put the number of shares that I wanted here.
I was just going to ask about how that.
Yep. So let's say I wanted 1, I'd click review. Obviously, I don't have the money in here right now. I'd have to make the deposit, but then you just swipe up and you literally just bought the stock. It's that simple. It's very straightforward to do. And then, if I wanted to sell, I would click trade, sell. I could sell all of it by clicking sell all of Tesla. If I did that, I'd sell to like $1,500 worth. I'd swipe up and that would submit it.
If you sell it here, it goes into your Robinhood money?
Yep, would go into Robinhood. Okay. And then it would take like, 3 days to process, meaning if you wanted to take it out, put it into a bank account, it would take 3 days. But if you wanted to put it into another stock, you could just use it right away.
It's kind of like, kind of like Venmo with that.
Yep, exactly. Okay, so other things you're going to see different on this screen as I scroll down. This is what you're going to get for your position. So I own 2.187 shares of Tesla. And then that market value, what it's worth right now is $1,554.90. I bought in at my average cost was $489. And if you look at the very top, Tesla's trading at $710. So big difference. I got in at a pretty good price. Today's return, I went up $2.58, made 0.17%. But overall, my total return on this investment is $484.34. So that's 45%.
Yeah.
So do you understand, like, that is not money that's like in my account right now. I guess like technically it is because it's invested. I would only see and recognize that $484 if I were to sell Tesla, and then I basically have that money in my account, and therefore I earned it. You know what I mean?
Okay, so question, if say Tesla drops, would your total return drop also?
Yes. Yep. It
Okay.
would go down, and you know.
So that's the like riskier.
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly. And I've done things in the past with, if you've heard of cryptocurrency before, like Bitcoin.
Yeah.
I invested in them in 2017, right before the huge crash there. And I literally invested $1,000 into random cryptos, not knowing much about it at all. That $1,000 went up to $12,000. I never sold. I held on to it, and I watched it crash all the way back down to how much, like $1,000,
Yeah.
and I sold it. And if I kept holding since then, it probably would be back up to like 12 grand, but I panic sold. And that's kind of like one of the bigger lessons that I've learned in investing is buy and hold. And
Okay.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Especially like, what would you say like would be the best type of thing to invest in as like a young college student?
So for you, I would not target something like Tesla personally. And again, I'm not a financial advisor, so you're going to want to do your own research, be comfortable with what you're investing in. But for me, I think the best possible one is Vanguard's Total Stock Market Index, or VTI, which I have 2 shares in this account, but so much more money in other accounts that I have invested. This is the one I think to go for many different reasons. This is an ETF. Do you know what an ETF is?
Not really, no.
Okay, so an ETF, it stands for an exchange traded fund. This one traces the stock market. So however the overall market performs, that's how this is going to do. And on average, this is going to give you around an 8 to 12% return annual in the stock market. If I click on the past return over the 5 years, you can see it's up 103%. So you get 100% return on your money had you invested 5 years ago. So that's really, really solid. If you scroll down, one of the cool things that I really like about this is it shows you the historical return. So 1 year ago, if you invested in this, you'd be up 44%. 3 years ago, if you invested every single year, you would have returned 18%.
Wow.
5 years, it would be 17, and 10 years, it would have been 14. So this is a really good one to invest in.
And that's the price return on like the money that you personally have put in.
Yeah, if you were to
Okay.
do it, 1 year, 3 year, 5 years, or 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So ETFs, they require not a lot of research, especially for this one. You don't really need to do too much digging on them. It's a basket of stocks. You're getting really great diversification. Instead of trying to figure out the financials and everything about individual companies, ETFs make investing so much easier, especially for beginners.
So another question is, as the years goes on, does that price return drop?
Well, it can change, right? It could go up or it could go down depending on how the stock market is performing.
Okay, so it's codependent with that.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
And so, yeah, so that's honestly, that's the way I would go. I would set up a recurring investment on this one, even if you're not buying full shares, right? If I had just $5 a week to invest, $10 a week, however much money you have laying around that you're not really going to be worried about losing, that's how much I'd put in. I'd get an emergency fund. I'd keep it in the bank. Everything else that I'm doing, I'm investing. I'm trying to get more money, get my money working for me. Yeah.
Cool. And that'll build up over time.
It'll build up, and trust me, this is going to be one of the best decisions you ever make. If you start investing at 18, there are so many different charts, so many graphs showing like the difference of returning between starting. You're 18 years old. I'm 24 years old. If I started and was investing as heavily as I am at 18, I would have so much more money now, and then throughout my life, it just compounds way more quickly, and you're going to be able to make so much more from it. So you are literally like, you are at the best possible position for anybody to be in right now.
Okay.
Yeah, don't screw this up.
Another question is, you were saying how this is like an overview of like a certain type of stock. Are there like other type of ETFs that I should invest in, like not just this one?
So it's cool. You can do some research into different ones. I invest in other ETFs. There's a ton of different ETFs out there. Some are investing in like socially responsible companies, meaning companies that are like, trying to better the environment, green energy, renewable stuff, things of that nature. That's one way to go about it. There are ETFs for oil even. There's ETFs for different industries. There's so many different ones, whatever you feel more comfortable with. You've mentioned some stuff in the past about some cannabis stocks. There's some cannabis ETFs. If that's something you're interested in too, that's like a little bit riskier again, but still like with how things are trending, you know, cannabis could be a very booming industry in the future.
Yeah.
And you know, it could blow up, no pun intended. But
yeah, I've seen a few articles on that, but I've never really like understood like necessarily the stock market and stuff. So
yeah,
this will be interesting to read about.
So yeah, the last thing, just to show you this built out a little bit more, the messages here, it's kind of like texting. It just tells you what you've done. So I bought Clorox today, $392.50. That's how much I spent. I got a couple shares of it. Picked up a position. It's just letting me know.
And these are automated, right? They're not like real people that you're.
Yeah, it's automated. These are all like unopened. I never really go into this section, but I have a lot of information there. So these are the settings. Mine is a lot more built out than what you would see just because you're waiting for your application to be approved. You can see there's Robinhood Gold here. You can invite your friends. You can get free stocks from it. Right now, if you invite friends, you're gonna get 5 free stocks. And it's, I don't know, that's a really good deal. It's like guaranteed $25 right there. So if you have like one friend, family member, somebody interested in investing, you know, send them to this video, but give them your referral link, get them to sign up, and you're gonna get yourself some nice free stocks out of that. And who knows, you could get a really good one. You could get like an Apple out of it or something and do well. So if you wanted to know where your referral code was, if you click free shares, you click share link, that's where you're going to get it right there. Okay,
cool. Yeah.
So then I'm going to exit out of this. Investing, sorry?
This is what this would all look like once I have everything set up.
Once you're all successfully, your application's approved. Now in investing, this is another section here where there's a couple things. This is what some people are, you know, maybe unaware about. Recurring investments, we kind of touched upon a little bit. You can create a recurring investment. This is where you're going to invest, you know, in, these are the ones that I have invested in. Let's say I wanted to invest every single week in Coca-Cola. I'd click continue. I could choose whether it's going to take from my Robinhood buying power, which I have $0 right now, or directly from my bank. So I could have it pulled directly from my bank account, invest in Coca-Cola every week. I could do that if I wanted.
So with that type of thing, if you didn't have enough funds in the Robinhood buying power, would it just not invest? Or
it wouldn't be able to if you selected this. But again, for you, I think it'd be very wise, you know, how much does Spotify cost?
Like $10 a month, I think.
And do you have that?
I do, but I think mom pays for it.
Oh, all right. Well, I'm just saying, like, literally take the cost from something like that and rationalize it. You're going to make so much more money. If you can just put away, literally $10 makes a huge difference. And I would just set that up. Set up recurring investing. Don't think twice. Like, just do it, and you're going to be making money.
Do you think Spotify is something you could invest in?
You can. Yep. Spotify is a stock.
Okay, because I feel like, because there is, like, the student discount. So.
Yeah. Yeah, you can invest in, there's so many, and you can always, if you're ever wondering about a company, you can literally come over here, just Spotify. It's right there. Yeah. Bang, $217, get some information on it.
So does this mean it's at a dip right now? It's going down?
Yeah, like for today, I mean, it's only down 0.24%. Over the past week, it's 3%. Past month, it's 18. But like, yeah, so it might be something you want to look at. Maybe it's a good buy-in price. I don't know. Another thing in that little guy icon section in the investing tab, this is where dividend reinvestment is. I have it off right now. If you turn it on, it's going to automatically reinvest dividends for the ones that are checked off. And so basically what that means is when they pay you dividends, they'll automatically just go right back into that company. The reason why I have it off, can you guess why?
To save the money?
The reason why I have it off is because, and a lot of people ask this question, I find better use for that money in other stocks because I'm watching the market and I'm really in tune with prices and stuff like that. So if I wanted to be more hands-off, I'd turn this on. I wouldn't really worry about it. But I think there's more value in other stocks that I can identify, and that's why I have it off personally.
Yeah, so you want to use those funds to like fuel your other.
Exactly.
Okay.
Another section, this day trading section right here. You can't have more than 3 day trades in one trading period, one trading week, sorry, or you're going to be locked out of your account, and it's going to be for a while, like 90 days, something like that. It's really unfortunate. You'll get marked as a patent day trader, which basically is just going to restrict you from trading, and you can get in a really big pickle if you're doing that. Let's say that you bought and sold basically in one day, in one trading period. That counts as one day trade. So you buy Apple in the morning, you sell it at any point in time during the day. That's one day trade. Let's say you buy Apple again and you sell it same day. That's another day trade. And then let's say you went for a really risky investment. You bought something, you needed to sell out of it, but let's say you've already used your 3 day trades and now you're screwed because you're just losing money. You're watching it go down and you can't get out of it. You don't need to worry about this, I don't think, because you're going to be buying and holding. You're going to be making, you know, some of those other decisions. But as you get more comfortable with the stock market, maybe you want to test out day trading. I wouldn't recommend it, like, ever. I've tried it. I've lost a lot of money from it. I wouldn't recommend it. But if you wanted to try and get into it, just be weary of that rule. And if you want to get around it, you need $25,000 in your account.
Okay, and question quickly about the day trades. Like, I know not to worry about that, but does a day trade, is that considered like from the time the stock market opens to closes, that's one full day, or is it like 24 hours in the day?
I believe it's from when it opens to when it closes.
Okay.
Yep. All good there?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to go back here. And so that was investing tabs. Transfers, that's just another way to get money in here. You can transfer to Robinhood or to your bank from Robinhood from here. You can set up a direct deposit if you wanted to. You could schedule automatic deposits, so taking from your bank into the Robinhood account. You can actually use this account to utilize to pay for checks. Like you can get checks from it. I've never done it before. I don't really see a use for it. And then you can see my deposit history here. So like $1,000 there, $1,000, $250. Like I'm just kind of sporadic with those as of lately. Typically what I've been doing was investing $100 every single week. So then in here, you got the security and privacy if you wanted more. Definitely go into this section. If SMS two-factor authentication, if this is not on, you definitely want it on. You don't want to screw around with your money. You want to make sure that everything's locked down. You want to require that people, if they're trying to sign into your account from an external device, they need your permission, and you don't want to lose any money, so definitely do that. I have my Face ID on here, and I just try and lock these accounts down as best as possible. Now, let me think, anything else in here? Settings, not a ton here. If you wanted to change your app appearance, if you wanted a pink little trading thing there, you can do that. Maybe turn that on in your account. I don't know if you're interested in it. Emma did it, but I'm going to have it off on mine. I like the classic red and green. Let's go back here. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much a lot of it. If you have any questions, you can go to this help center here, or you can leave it in the comment section on this video. You can look up some of those questions right here on this screen. You could go into the contact us. It's going to power up right here. In this, you'll be able to reach out to Robinhood. You'll be able to find more of those questions that you have, get answers. And I've rarely had to reach out to Robinhood, but it is nice to know that feature exists.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it. Do you have any other questions pertaining to this? Oh, let me just show you that cash management feature right here. It shows my history. Like. Yeah, my card isn't even activated right now. I have it. I just literally haven't.
You just don't need to.
Yeah. You can see I've lifetime made 74 cents by having this activated. But again, that's 74 cents that I wouldn't have had if I didn't activate it. So
that is true.
Yep. And they have ATMs you can withdraw funds from too. But
cool.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. So anything else? Any other questions? I know we went over a ton. I'll definitely have you back on this channel and we can cover more things, but that was a lot.
Yeah, that's information I'll definitely keep in my mind. I don't really have any questions. I think I got a pretty good overview of what I want to invest in as soon as I get my account approved.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being such a great guest on this channel. Let's go easy on her in the comment section, guys. Go easy on me too. I need the help. So anyways, thank you so much for checking out this video, and have a great day.
Bye.
Okay, so now I usually do something weird at the end of the video.
I always love it.
We have to do something. Should I carry you like this?
No.
3, 2, 1.